Have you ever been at work feeling like you're doing your job well, perhaps better than you ever have, when you realize you just don't seem to count? You aren't just overlooked, you feel erased. Many women over 50 internalize this experience. We think I need to speak louder or I need to be more relevant. But I'm here to tell you that invisibility is rarely a confidence problem. It's usually a system problem. In this video, I'm going to use the happiness operating system that will show you why your brain blames you for this, the specific psychological need that is being starved, and one exercise to help you stop interpreting a broken system as a personal failure. Now, I know how heavy this may feel because I've lived it recently. Not too long ago, I was at work and one of the owners of the company was openly, enthusiastically praising one of my younger coworkers. He was doing it loudly, publicly, repeatedly. And as I stood there listening, something hit me pretty hard, actually. He has never, not once, acknowledged the skills that I bring to the table. Not privately, not publicly, not ever. And what landed in my gut wasn't, I feel invisible. It was, I don't matter here. But then something shifted. I stopped feeling sad and hurt. I started to feel angry. It was a consuming anger and it settled right in my chest. In my coaching practice, we treat intense anger as a signal. It's a flashing red light telling us that a boundary or a need has been violated or not met. And I realized I wasn't angry because I was jealous, and I wasn't angry because I wanted to blame somebody. It was not a childlike lash out where I was blaming someone else. I was angry because I was witnessing a system that has decided who was worth seeing and who wasn't. And there was a brief internal moment of what I can only describe as like rage against ageism. It's different band, but same refusal to go quietly. And that anger gave me the clarity to stop blaming myself and to start looking at the science. So here is the trap we fall into. When we are ignored, our brains default to what psychologists call an internal attribution error. We look inward, particularly women. We're prone to looking inward for the cause. We think, I must not be good enough. I must be outdated. I must be old. I must be irrelevant. This is our brain trying to quickly solve a problem it doesn't understand. But the problem is it is a misdiagnosis. The real issue is usually an external attribution bias. When we feel invisible, it's not because we've lost value. It's because the feedback loop that used to reflect our value has been broken by the environment. So this maps directly to self-determination theory. We know that human well-being relies on three things: autonomy, competence, and relatedness. Relatedness isn't just about having friends or family or a beloved. It's about being seen and valued by others, by your community. When an employer praises youthful sparkle but ignores seasoned experience, our need for relatedness is being starved. So think of it this way. Invisibility is not an emotional failure on our part. It is the biological pain of an unmet need. So how do we stop the spiral? What I like to do is use a tool that I call a system reappraisal. So the next time we feel that sting of invisibility, we're going to stop and ask ourselves two questions, right? The first question is, What does this specific system reward? Is it youth? Is it compliance? Is it cheap labor? And then the second question is, what does this system ignore? Is it experience? Is it having boundaries? Is it wisdom? This creates cognitive distance. We move the problem from our personal worth file to our external analysis file. We stop thinking, I am flawed, and start seeing the incentives here are flawed. So we need to remember, yeah, we are definitely getting older, but we're not fading. We are not irrelevant. We are simply outgrowing an environment that only values women when they are young or when they're compliant. And realizing this is the first step in installing a new happiness operating system where our worth is determined by us, not by a boss, not by anybody else. If we're ready to stop looking for validation in places that can't give it, this is exactly what we do in my coaching program. I just want to give you the heads up though, once you start to see that system clearly, you might realize that you can no longer stay in it. Moments like this accumulate. So in the next video, I'm going to talk about what I like to call the threshold, the moment when our nervous system finally says enough and we have to make a choice. So let's keep this conversation going, and I'll see you in the next video.